Delighted to say one young man who's come up on the Skype wall, 0207 291 0868, is Andy, who is a Liverpool fan, and it's the first visit up to the Skype wall for us this evening. Andy, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yeah, listen, mate, great to have you on the show. Thank you very much indeed. Now, you know, I'm not gloating here, and I'm not trying to, you know, put pressure on you as an Everton fan to a Liverpool fan, but quite simply, what's happened at Liverpool since the new year, certainly in terms of the Premier League, has been absolutely shocking.
Oh, it's been dreadful. No one could have predicted we'd have such a slump. We were never doing too well, but always looked like we'd be there or thereabouts in regards to fourth position. But since maybe we lost to Arsenal a month ago and fourth was definitely out of the question, we've just totally lost heart and faded away badly.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I mean, what is it about the team that they can't knit together? First of all, the Andy Carroll situation, in your opinion, was that a blunder, or is this a boy who can be fitted into the team if you get the right players around him?
I think he can be fitted into the team, but certainly the price tag on him, it seems a lot of money spent, and it certainly hasn't paid off so far. Yeah. He hasn't had a bad 2012, to be honest. His performances have been okay, a lot better than before the turn of the year, but it's certainly not working. Him and Suarez don't seem to have any sort of understanding, and it seems it's got to be one or the other, and obviously Suarez would be first pick. Yeah,
no, he certainly would. What did you make of the situation at St James's Park, as we still call it on this show, when he rounds a goalkeeper, he's in line to slot a goal home, he decides to go to ground instead? I just don't get it.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I don't know whether it's a lack of confidence. He did so well to get in the position, and he took it around the keeper. I don't know whether it's lack of confidence with his right foot, or I think Gutierrez, the left back, was closing in, and he just dived. He just didn't have any confidence in hitting it with it, and I can't understand it myself. I thought it was a penalty when I first saw it, but obviously it was definitely a dive, and quite embarrassing, to be honest.
Yeah, that's right. What about the Dalglish situation, Andy? You have to tell me now. Are you a Dalglish stalwart, would the sort who'd say, I don't ever want that man to leave the club? Or are you thinking that actually, you know, he's been unfairly judged on his previous record rather than the present one?
I'm a Dalglish stalwart. I'm 100% behind Kenny. There's no point considering changing another manager again. I think most of the fans wanted him as manager to replace Roy Hodgson, and I think most of them still think the same thing. He is obviously getting cut a lot of slack because of his reputation at the club, but I definitely want to stick with him, and I think a lot of people do.
Okay, well listen mate, don't go anywhere, because I've got another Liverpool fan up on the Skype wall who's also called in, wants to have a chat with us. His name is Chris, and he's here now. Chris, good evening to you.
Evening, Porky.
Yeah, hello, mate. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Chris. I just had a fellow fan of your Liverpool fan, Andy, on. He's a Kenny Dalglish stalwart. He says he's got to stay, whatever happens. What would you say to that, please?
I think he's 100% right. You know, with all that's going on at Liverpool at the moment, there's not one person who's going to be more upset than Kenny Dalglish.
Yeah.
We just have to stick with him. He's in the right man. The club's in the right hands. We've just been really unlucky with, you know, hitting the post, the crossbar, the post, not getting blatant decisions.
Yeah.
But we also haven't helped ourselves with the players that, you know, last season were outstanding for their own individual clubs last season, but just haven't done it this year.
Yeah, but Chris, I've got to ask you this, mate. Can Kenny Dalglish bring you back the glories that you seek, i.e. a Premier League title? I'd say you're probably about 5 years away from a Premier League title, and maybe that's because of a lot of bad buying last summer.
I totally agree with you, Mike. I think we really are so far behind. I mean, at the start of the season, things were looking rosy, and, you know, people were talking about United maybe falling to pieces at Christmas time. But, you know, look what they've done. They've just gone from strength to strength. And we're just so far behind. It's unreal. But, you know, the club's in the right hands. We've gone through a bad periods with ex-owners, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, we are in good hands for the future, and Kenny Dalglish is the man. But it's only his first season, his first full season. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, no, okay. Just don't go anywhere, Chris. I'm going to go back to Andy, who was just talking the Skype before you there. So, Andy, you've got a colleague there in arms. They both say, you know, Dalglish can't go anywhere. Will the Everton semi-final at Wembley be another defining moment in you know, Dalglish's position with the club and of course for this season?
It's hard to say. We don't know what the owners are thinking. I don't think amongst the fans that will be a defining moment. Obviously, it's a massive game, and we want to get to another cup final and try and win another trophy. Because if we win 2 trophies, it'll salvage the season. It'll be remembered as a success, probably.
Yes.
But I don't know what the owners would think about that. They obviously want Champions League football, and we haven't got anywhere near that this time. But I don't think his future's in any doubt at the moment.
No. Okay, fine. Well, listen, Chris, I'm going to let you go, mate, but thank you very much indeed for being with us this evening. I hope I'll see you back up on the Skype wall. Andy, I'm sorry. Thank you very much indeed for being with us, and we'll be back up on the Skype wall with you very soon. Okay. Andy, thank you very much indeed. Back to Chris. Chris, sorry, mate. Yeah, that was your pal Andy there, or fellow fan, saying that obviously the semi-final's a massive game. Now, it is a massive game. It's going to be a defining moment. But he also made the point that without Champions League football, you're fighting a losing battle, really. A, to attract a world-class manager if you need another manager, and B, to attract world-class players.
I think just the name of Liverpool is enough to attract world-class players. Just because we're in the Champions League, I think it's a big challenge for players to come in and, you know, make a go with it at Liverpool and make them into the Champions League side that, you know, we're proving that we are.
Yeah, but I mean, is Dalglish the man to do that? It's 20 years since he was last manager of your club. Do you think that the football world might have overtaken him between now and then?
Well, it's a long time ago, isn't it, since, you know, he's done the double and he's done everything with Liverpool as manager. It is a long time away and things have moved on. But, you know, he's still the same age as Alex Ferguson, isn't he? You know, he's got all the experience that is needed to be a top-class manager, and he's proven that he is. Yeah. It's just, you know, we're just not having it up at the green at the moment. Yeah. And as I said before, if there's one man that can turn it around, it will be Kenny Dalglish. Yeah, well, I think that's very forgiving of you because, you know, at the moment he seems so at odds with the world, Chris. You know what I mean? He seems so bitter towards the rest of the world. He snaps at people who ask him questions, and he seems irritated by everything that's going on around him. And I don't think that don't give a great atmosphere for the club itself. It doesn't, and it was a bit worrying on Sunday there, where he seemed to come on the pitch and, you know, it seemed like the players were a bit uneasy with him, and that is slightly worrying at the moment. So, but I think he will sort things out, definitely. Yeah, OK. Well, listen, it's nice to know that you fans have got so much faith in your manager, because so often fans turn against their managers and they can be very fickle. So, nevertheless, there is a body of opinion at Liverpool that maybe Kenny's not the right man. Are you aware of that? I mean, I get them in Skypes and Twitters every day. I am aware of it, Mike, because, you know, I sort of questioned myself whether he was the right man for the job on Sunday after the match, because... Yeah. When we were getting beat, there was no plan B, you know, to change things around. Yeah, sure. But I think it is, Mike. It's a lot of the problem is it's the players. This year, the players have got a lot to answer for, and the players have let Liverpool Football Club down. Right. And it's not Kenny Dalglish, it's the players. Right, OK, that's very interesting, that. OK, well, listen, mate, I want to thank you very much indeed for being with us. Chris, good to have you on the show, and I hope we'll see you up on the Skype wall again very soon. Thanks, Balky. OK, mate, thanks very much indeed. Liverpool fans there, united to a man in support of Kenny Dalglish. Stay ahead of the game with Sports Tonight Live. Don't miss a thing. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search for Sports Tonight Live on Facebook and like our fan page. Follow Sports Tonight TV on Twitter and tweet us your thoughts and opinions. Sports Tonight Live, it's the platform for the fans.